The inherited property situations that end up being the hardest to navigate are almost never the ones where the family is fighting. They're the ones where everybody is trying too hard not to upset each other. And that surprises people because when most of us imagine inherited property conflict, we picture siblings fighting, legal battles, people refusing to cooperate. But that's not usually what I see. What I see more often is good people trying very hard not to hurt each other while quietly becoming more and more stuck. And the cost of that financially and emotionally can be just as significant as any open conflict, sometimes more so. Today I want to talk about why this happens, what it actually looks like from the inside, and what tends to shift things when families finally find a way through it. It usually starts with everybody wanting to do the right thing. Nobody wants to seem greedy, nobody wants to push too hard or be the person creating pressure when everyone is already grieving. So difficult conversations get a little softened, get delayed, avoided longer than they should be. And at first that feels compassionate, like the kind thing to do. But over time, it creates a completely different problem. I worked with a family not long ago where 3 siblings inherited a house together after losing a parent. They genuinely loved each other, no major conflict, no fighting, no legal battle, but every conversation about the house seemed to stall before any real decision got made. One sibling lived nearby and was quietly handling almost everything, checking on the property, coordinating maintenance, dealing with insurance paperwork, meeting contractors when issues came up. The other 2 lived out of town, and at first everyone appreciated the arrangement because somebody needed to handle things. But slowly, something started happening that nobody was saying out loud. The sibling carrying most of the responsibility was becoming exhausted, not angry, at least not at first, just overwhelmed. And meanwhile, the other siblings felt uncomfortable making major decisions because they weren't physically there and didn't feel connected to the day-to-day reality of the house anymore. So everybody kept trying to avoid tension. And because everybody was avoiding tension, nothing moved forward. Months passed, and then more months. The house sat vacant. Maintenance issues slowly started piling up. Taxes and insurance still needed to be paid, and every conversation about the house somehow became emotionally heavier than the last one. Not because anyone was trying to be difficult, because grief changes family dynamics in ways people don't anticipate. Inherited property has a way of surfacing roles that already existed in the family long before the house ever became part of the picture. The responsible sibling becomes more responsible, the avoidant sibling becomes harder to pin down, the emotional sibling struggles with letting go, and the practical sibling gets frustrated that nobody will just make a decision. And suddenly conversations that sound like they're about real estate are actually about something much deeper. That's why families can technically agree about the big picture and still feel completely stuck when it comes to actually moving forward. If any of this sounds familiar, I want you to know that's not a sign that your family is doing something wrong. I've seen some of the most loving, functional families get stuck at exactly this dynamic because everybody was trying so hard to protect each other emotionally that nobody was willing to say the hard thing out loud. And if you're in that place right now, or you can see it starting to happen, this might be a good time to reach out before it gets heavier. I work with families in the San Antonio area navigating exactly these situations, and sometimes just having a neutral outside perspective changes the whole conversation. This is also where I think a lot of people misunderstand probate. They assume the legal process is the difficult part, but honestly, a lot of the time, the emotional coordination between family members is much harder than the actual paperwork, because the paperwork has rules and family relationships don't. And the longer the property sits while the family tries to find the right moment to have the real conversation, the more the house itself starts influencing the outcome. Deferred maintenance grows, vacant home risks increase, costs continue accumulating quietly in the background, and the property starts making decisions for the family instead of the family making decisions about the property. That's when situations that could have been manageable start becoming overwhelming. I've talked about this in other videos, and It's true and it matters, so I'll say it again. Waiting feels safe. But waiting is not neutral, especially with inherited property. Now, that doesn't mean that families should rush. Some hear this and think the message is to sell immediately, and that is not what I'm saying. Some families absolutely should keep an inherited property. Some should rent it. Some should sell eventually, but not right away. The important thing is that the decision is intentional rather than being accidental, because there's a very big difference between we thoughtfully decided to hold this property for a while and we never really made a decision, so the house just kept sitting there. Those are not the same thing financially, emotionally, or rationally. And the families who navigate this best are almost never the ones who move the fastest. They're the ones who communicated clearly the earliest, even when the conversations were uncomfortable, especially then. So what does actually moving forward look like? It usually starts with someone being willing to ask the questions out loud that everyone has been thinking privately. What are we actually trying to accomplish here? What does everyone need from this? What timeline realistically makes sense? And what happens if we keep waiting? Not to force a conclusion, just to get everything on the table. Because avoiding the conversation doesn't protect the family from stress. It just delays the stress until the situation has become more expensive, more emotional, and harder to solve. And sometimes what a family needs most in that moment isn't urgency, it's just someone willing to create a little structure around a conversation that keeps slipping away. And if you've been in that holding pattern with an inherited property and want to talk through the practical side of what your options actually look like, I'd welcome to have that conversation with you. Sometimes having somebody outside the family dynamic walk through the numbers with everyone changes the whole temperature of the discussion. Reach out anytime and we can find a time to connect. And if you haven't seen my video on the biggest mistakes families make with an inherited property, that one collects directly to what we talked about today and goes deeper on the financial sides of what happens when decisions get delayed too long. If this conversation resonated, it's worth watching. And if you're in the San Antonio area and navigating inherited property with siblings or other family members, I'd be glad to help you think through this clearly and calmly, because the silence itself can quietly become the decisions, and families deserve better than that.